President Dr. William Ruto is expected to officially open the Nyanza International Investment Conference slated for June 28th to 29th, 2024. The two-day conference to be held in Kisumu will bring together local and international investors, national and the county government officials, and the private sector to explore investment opportunities in the region. Information Communications and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo said the head of state will lead a team of local and international investors to explore the region's untapped potential. The conference, according to Owalo, will unpack the existing and potential development challenges and turn them into investable opportunities for the investors. The CS said the conference was in line with the government's directive to promote public-private partnerships to spur investments and grow the economy. Among the areas to be exploited include infrastructure, technology, health, and agriculture. Governors from the 6 Nyanza counties of Kisumu, Siaya, Migori, Homa Bay, Kisii, and Nyamira counties will be at hand to sign pacts with the potential investors. Some of the key projects, among them the Korusoin Dam and the Lake Victoria Ring Road, will be showcased to the investors as the government moves to scale up public-private partnerships.
And that is why we have organized this conference, that instead of leaving everything for the national and the county governments, let us come in as professionals from Nyanza, as agents of necessity, to facilitate a forum, a thought leadership platform, where we can engage with private sector investors, tell them the opportunities that we have, informed by comparative advantages of the Nyanza region. And let us see if through public-private partnership, we are able to pursue our development agenda to a logical conclusion. That is the rationale and justification for organizing the Nyanza International Investment Conference. And I'm glad to report that when I reached out to His Excellency the President, because he's very, very passionate about the development agenda of this region, he readily accepted to officially open the conference on the 28th of this month, and also be a keynote speaker and chief guest at the very conference. Courtesy of that acceptance, I've also reached out to an integral stakeholder base within government to support us in this initiative. I've facilitated meetings between the organizing committee and virtually anybody and everybody whose contribution will be invaluable in this process. They have met all the PSS they wanted to meet. They have met all the CEOs of the parastatals that they wanted to meet. Yeah? But also, it is important that this process becomes as inclusive and as participatory as possible. None of us here, starting with yours truly, has got exclusivity of ideas. So we want to bring on board everybody and everybody who can contribute towards the development agenda of Nyanza. And that is why we are reaching out to the integral stakeholder segment, so that no single stakeholder segment feels left out. It is in the same vein that we have convened this meeting today. You cannot be discussing the development agenda of Nyanza and you are leaving the business community behind. Yeah? Because you are the ones who are the owners of capital. Yeah? You are the ones who are the owners of capital in this region. So we can't leave you behind. Equally, you have got wide networks. The same private sector players we are talking about. Either locally or internationally, you have got a critical mass of friends in the private sector who can help and augment our efforts in development of Nyanza. And please, we want you over and above registering as delegates. We want you guys, because you run various business enterprises, please also get exhibition booths so that you can showcase. This is a platform through which you can showcase your products and services and goods, but also tag along your friends in the private sector who can, based on their expectations and aspirations, match the development opportunities in Nyanza. Tag them along to the conference. We have managed so far to engage quite a number of integral groups. About 1 week ago, I led this organizing committee to a meeting with the European Union, and we had a meeting with a whopping over 30 EU ambassadors who have promised to bring on board investors from their respective countries to the conference. Okay? In equal measure, subsequent to this meeting, we are going to next week meet all the other integral stakeholder segments from Nyanza. We don't want anybody to feel left out. We have no reason to exclude anybody. In fact, one time I told this organizing committee about 2 months ago that you people, one of the challenges we face in Nyanza is that in any initiative where we are involved, we don't want anybody who is better than us in that same space to get involved. This time round, we don't want anybody to be left what? Behind. And therefore, next week, again, we have lined up various meetings with the integral stakeholder segments. On Wednesday, we are meeting engineers and architects and anybody and everybody who is involved in the construction industry. On Thursday, we are having a working breakfast with all doctors. On Friday, we are having a meeting with all lawyers from Nyanza. I had a meeting with the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, and she's already communicated with all the lawyers. We don't want to leave anybody behind. And we are still open to suggestions. The subsequent week, we are going to have a meeting, a virtual meeting with Nyanza residents who are domiciled in the diaspora, so that they can also leverage on their networks out there and bring them to the what? To the conference. So that is the direction and approach that we are taking. We don't want to leave anybody out. I also want to mention that I'm participating in this process as one of the co-patrons of the Nyanza Professional Forum, under whose auspices this conference is being organized. The other co-patron is CS Ezekiel Machogu. He was not able to be with us here today. He's been part and parcel of the planning from the very, very onset, and you'll see more of him moving forward, starting with those meetings also next week up to and including the conference itself.
The initiative by the Nyanza International Investment Conference to bring investors to our region is a fundamental achievement and a vision that has been put forward by the think tank of this group over the last couple of months. The business community here this morning have gathered to understand the dynamics of the region, the dynamics of the investment, and certain challenges facing us as a business community, sir. Before I came here, my thoughts were restricted to Kisumu. I'm looking at the presence of the entire counties within the Nyanza region and the slogan of Nyanza, Rise Again. This is fundamental. We have, for the last 50, 60 years, since independence, Honorable Waziri, we have been perceived as a region that has laid back on development over the years. Various reasons known to all of us. The lack of industry creation, the protection of the industrial growth of the region, the impunity that surrounds us all, the poverty that is evident in our region, the unemployment that has been created by the lack of industry creation. The Lake region, we had our inaugural meeting of the Lake region, Lake Victoria Aquaculture Association yesterday. Our chair is Honorable Ochieng Bayo. We have Albert here, we have Cesar Asio from Victory Farms, we have Bella from Bolero. I'm in it as I possess and own processing plant that needs to be awakened. And the challenges that are coming in the fishing sector, these are fundamental because the fishing sector is the hub of the economy of the Nyanza region, and the Lake region as well, and the Lake region economic bloc as well, totally reliant on this particular sector. So I think in your one-to-one networking, Cesar Asio, who's a veteran with Victory Farms in the fishing industry, will be able to throw some light and give you input on the dynamics and the concerns that are there within the region.
watching Media One International, always fast and fast. Like, share and subscribe.